Because it was taking us a little while, I had very upfront, honest conversations with my partner about how long we'd be willing to try and how long we would be willing to do IVF for. And I suppose something about going through the process is, well, for myself, I found that the longer I did it, the more invested in it I was. And I did really, really want to have a baby and remained hopeful. And I think we have this um, natural way of sort of bouncing back at the end of each disappointment. And so I kept going and obviously did have a baby, and he's wonderful. One thing that I'm sure everyone knows about doing IVF is the lack of control that you can feel when you're going through this process. Yeah, you just don't know if that test is going to be the one that shows up the double lines. I actually have co-occurring conditions. I've also got autism and I've got ADHD, and so I find it even more difficult, perhaps, than some to cope with uncertainty and also change. And there are so many uncertainties around doing IVF, and every single person will have a different experience. But I did find the waiting game very, very hard. And I suppose something that I was thinking about quite constantly being off meds was the impact of stress, because I know in the past stress hasn't been a very good, hasn't had the best impact on me, and that includes, you know, potentially being a trigger for relapses and so on. So I really tried to manage stress. It's something I think is really worth talking about, because we all deal with stress differently. But for myself, the more I tried to manage stress, the harder it actually was to manage it. So I'd sort of tell myself, just don't be stressed, just don't be stressed, and that doesn't really work. So I think having distractions was really good. Just keeping on with my day-to-day life. I kept working. I kept seeing friends, and kept things as sort of unchanging. Kept up with my routines and things that I like doing.